Go to this picture of the San Francisco Giants are playing the Oakland A's in one of these preseason type games, like the Padres are playing the Angels, etc. So Gabe Kapler, the manager of the Giants, takes a knee. As you can see, other guys are taking knees. Black, white, doesn't really matter. People are taking knees. Some people are standing up. This is going to be an ongoing story all year long. Who's kneeling during the anthem? Who's standing during the anthem? And how we as Americans have become more tolerant and more understanding of what the original message was. Colin Kaepernick has taken the heat for everybody when there were plenty of other NFL players who were by his side, whose names you don't even know. You have people in American soccer like Abby Wambach. You know who she is? She's like one of the top women's U.S. national players. She's got the funky white hair. She took a knee and everybody's like, yeah, okay, she took a knee, but people don't really care that much. Baseball, America's pastime. By the way, why do they need the national anthem before the games when there's no fans? There's nobody singing the national anthem. If it were me, I'd blow off the anthem this year if I were Major League Baseball. If I were the NBA, I wouldn't need an anthem as two teams are playing one another in front of nobody. There's really no need for the anthem in a crowd of Americana, of American pride, of patriotism, of celebration of America. Great. Empty fucking stadium. You need the anthem, and then here's what's going to happen all year long. Who's kneeling? Who's that? Who's kneeling? Who's standing? If they're kneeling, they must really be compassionate people. If they're standing, they're bad. I mean, I'm telling you, this is ridiculous.
Well,
we should blow off the anthem this year. Go ahead. Well, what do you say?
No, it just depends who you ask. Because, I mean, the same people that hated Kaepernick in 2016, a lot of those people still are going to hate people kneeling now. Just because it's more culturally accepted, maybe from a populist standpoint, doesn't mean that everybody's going to be on board and think that way. I mean, some people are still going to find it disrespectful to the military services. There's still people that are going to think that. But it's one of those things, too. Like, the only way we're going to find out who's kneeling is what reporters are in the stadium and who's reporting on it. Baseball anthems do not get shown on television. The only time, and in football, only on the Super Bowl and only on the conference championship. And in basketball, never. So
All-Star game, the All-Star game, that's it.
And the only time you're going to see it is who's reporting on it. And if those reporters make it a story, then it's a story. Because the Giants did it yesterday, and I didn't even see it till this morning. So did it get out there? Yes. Were people outraged? Yeah. There was a hashtag boycott MLB. So I mean, there's not everyone's going to agree with it. Even the majority of players did it.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you saw Gabe Kapler, if you put up his quote, he says, I wanted them to know that I wasn't pleased with the way our country has handled police brutality. And I told them I wanted to amplify their voices, and I wanted to amplify the voice of the Black community and marginalized communities as well. So, all right, there's a guy. I mean, there is a white guy, former Major League player, now Major League manager, taking a knee and willing to talk about it. And so I'm with you. You're right. It will be up to the media who's there to make a bigger deal out of it. I can tell you this, in my experience, when I was covering the 49ers and Kaepernick was still on the team, the producers would say to me before the game, for the anthem, I want you to position yourself in a way so that you can see Kaepernick. I want you to report on what he does, and I want you to report on who does it with him. And literally, that was like the first. Let's go downstairs to Scott. Thank you, Kevin. Colin Kaepernick kneeled. No surprise. Eric Reed kneeled right next to kneeled, whatever, right next to him. And that's the story. Back to you. Kickoff time. You're right. It is a media creation. Otherwise, if you're baseball, it doesn't need to be a story. And if I were baseball and if I were basketball, I would not have anthems in empty stadiums. What do you say, Brown?
That's the solution. You figured it out already immediately before this even became a problem after this one incident. If you're a major league sport organization or team, or don't play the anthem, have a mandate come down from the top We are not playing the anthem, and here's the reason why you're going to get out of it, because there's no crowd. There's no one here. There's no reason for us to salute the greatness of America by playing this song, because there are no fans here. No one stands up in their home and salutes while doing the anthem. You don't stop eating your nachos. You don't stop drinking your beer. You don't not go to the bathroom when the anthem is happening and they're playing it during the NBA Finals or they're playing it during the Super Bowl. You're talking. People are yelling in the house. It's excitement. You don't stop doing anything. So this is the way to avoid it. Don't play it. And then it's not a topic. No one doesn't talk about it.
But you know what's going to happen, like Alex said, when they don't play it in baseball, as an example. Wait a second. America's pastime is giving up on the anthem? How dare you? Baseball is the most all-American sport that there is, and you're not going to play the anthem. And here's what's going to happen. It'll get all twisted. Baseball's anti-America. Baseball's not patriotic. I quit baseball because I'll never watch another game because those guys didn't play the anthem. It will get turned into a political issue, which is bullshit.
Dude, Trump would just lose his mind if baseball stopped playing the anthems at baseball games with or without people there. And then also, if you really, because there are no fans there and there's really no one seeing you unless local television networks or ESPN, whoever's airing the game, decides to show who knelt like right before the first inning, then really what are you actually accomplishing, right? So Gabe Kapler, like, he brought attention to himself, but what did he say after that is helping the cause? So you can do something like that, like, cool, I'm kneeling and I'm supportive and this is how I feel. Or you could do things like Tobias Harris of the Sixers, who just doesn't answer questions that the media asks him, and all he does is call for social justice. He wants the people that murdered Breonna Taylor to be arrested, and that's the only thing he uses his media time for. So there's like a difference of the way I see it is Gabe Kapler, he probably has good intentions, but what is it really doing if there's nobody there? And what are you really doing if you're not saying anything after?
Scott, how many AAU soccer games have you been to? Ballpark, roughly.
Yeah, I mean, they're not called AAU like in basketball, but whatever it is, they're I mean,
travel soccer.
Hundreds. Never one time did even in like the finals of a big tournament where a team is from the East Coast and a team is from the West Coast. At no point does anybody go, you know what we got to do before these 16-year-old girls play soccer here in Arizona? We got to play the anthem. No. And you know what they do? They march both teams out. Both teams separate at midfield. All the fans cheer on their team. Nobody plays the anthem. Nobody does the Pledge of Allegiance. Look, at least for now, I would think that the solution is no need.